Imagine England in the 15th century. It's a time of castles and knights, but also of dangerous rivalries. This is where the story of the Wars of the Roses unfolds, a brutal conflict that tore the nation apart. Two powerful houses, York and Lancaster, both believed they had the rightful claim to the throne of England. Their emblem? A rose, the Yorks a white rose, the Lancasters a red. This wasn't just a fight for land or power, it was a battle for the very soul of England. Families were divided, loyalties tested, and blood spilled on the battlefield. The Wars of the Roses marked a dark and turbulent chapter in English history, shaping the destiny of a nation. To understand this epic struggle, we need to untangle a rather complicated family tree. Both the Yorks and Lancasters descended from King Edward III, a powerful king who ruled in the 14th century. Edward had many sons, and over time, their descendants staked their claims to the throne. By the 1450s, England was ruled by the Lancastrian king Henry VI, a pious but weak ruler. His reign was plagued by defeats in France and economic instability at home. The powerful Duke of York, Richard, saw an opportunity. He believed he had a stronger claim to the throne and gathered support to challenge Henry. The tension finally erupted in 1455 at the Battle of St. Albans. Imagine the scene: armed men clashing in the narrow streets, the air thick with the smell of sweat, fear and blood. The Yorkists, led by Richard, emerged victorious. This first battle was a turning point. King Henry VI was captured, and Richard of York became the most powerful man in England. The Wars of the Roses had truly begun, and there would be no turning back. Richard of York didn't immediately seize the throne. He ruled as Lord Protector, but his grip on power was challenged by the Lancastrians, led by Henry's fierce wife, Margaret of Anjou. However, fate had other plans. Richard of York was killed in battle in 1460. His son Edward took up the Yorkist banner. Young, ambitious and ruthless, Edward defeated the Lancastrians and declared himself King Edward IV in 1461. Section 5. The Kingmaker plays his hand. Edward IV's reign wasn't smooth sailing. He owed his throne to the powerful Earl of Warwick, known as the Kingmaker. Warwick was a master strategist who initially supported Edward. However, their relationship soured and Warwick switched sides, backing the Lancastrians. In a stunning turn of events, Warwick managed to briefly restore the captured Henry VI to the throne in 1470. Edward IV was forced to flee into exile. The Wars of the Roses had taken another unexpected turn. Wars of the Hove. Section 6. The winds of war shift once more. Edward IV was not a man to be easily defeated. He returned to England in 1471 with a vengeance. At the Battle of Barnet, he defeated and killed Warwick the Kingmaker. Edward then pursued the Lancastrians, crushing their forces at the Battle of Tewkesbury. The Lancastrian heir, Prince Edward, was killed and Margaret of Anjou was captured. The Yorkist victory seemed complete. Section 7. A new era dawns with the Tudors. Edward IV's reign brought a period of relative peace and stability. However, his death in 1483 plunged England back into turmoil. His brother, Richard of Gloucester, seized the throne as Richard III, imprisoning Edward's young sons in the Tower of London. Enter Henry Tudor, a distant relative of the Lancasters. Henry challenged Richard III, and in 1485 they met at the Battle of Bosworth Field. The battle was fierce, but Henry emerged victorious, ending the Wars of the Roses. He became King Henry VII, the first Tudor king. Section 8. Scars on the land, echoes in time. The Wars of the Roses left an indelible mark on England. The conflict lasted for over 30 years, claiming the lives of thousands of men. Noble families were decimated, and the English countryside bore the scars of battle. The wars also had a profound impact on the English psyche. The instability and bloodshed created a climate of fear and uncertainty. The crown, once a symbol of stability, had become a prize to be fought over with brutal consequences. Section 9. Legacy in stone and song. Despite the devastation, the Wars of the Roses also left a lasting legacy. Henry VII, the first Tudor king, worked tirelessly to heal the wounds of the past. He established a strong central government, restored law and order, and laid the foundation for the Tudor dynasty, which would rule England for over a century. The Wars of the Roses also captured the imagination of artists and writers for centuries to come. William Shakespeare's history plays, such as Richard III and Henry V, vividly portray the drama and intrigue of this turbulent period. Section 10. The Tudor Rose. A symbol of unity, perhaps the most enduring symbol of the Wars of the Roses, is the Tudor Rose. After his victory, Henry VII married Elizabeth of York, uniting the warring houses. The red rose of Lancaster and the white rose of York were combined to create the Tudor Rose, a symbol of unity and reconciliation. The Wars of the Roses serve as a reminder of the destructive power of ambition and the importance of unity and stability. It is a tale of tragedy and triumph, of loss and renewal, a story that continues to fascinate and resonate with us today.